Well, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year! Hey, we wanted to say Happy New Year. This should be posting right here at that time. I hope that that's what you're watching before you, as the ball drops. Is the ball going to drop this year? I don't know. I don't think they're going to do anything down in, in New York City. I don't know, but it's all to be, I guess, experienced. Yes. It's been such a strange year, but again, welcome back to Ways to Love Your Money. We want to say thank you so much for watching our episodes or listening to our episodes, and it's been an incredible journey. And I have Katie Steck here, who's kind of like my partner in everything I do every single day. She's our case manager here, and to keep this kind of light, we're going to talk a little bit about the holidays and see what are you planning for the holidays this year? I mean, are you kind of doing a few different things or?
Yeah, I'm gonna spend it with a small amount with family.
Yes.
We're actually going to fly, so we'll see.
Wow. Okay.
But just quiet and.
But you've flown through the pandemic.
Yes.
And what was your experience with that?
Well, in August when I flew, it was actually really quiet. I'm really interested to see how it is this time of year.
Yeah.
I felt very safe. Everything was really sanitized well, and we were told that things were sanitized, and we were given lots of hand sanitizer.
It's probably the cleanest these airplanes have ever been.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
yes, for sure.
So you felt safe. You felt safe flying, so that's good. This is a little bit longer flight, but you're gonna be able to enjoy that.
Yeah.
So do you have to wear the mask the whole time? What was your experience?
You have to wear the mask the whole time, which honestly, I think you kind of get used to it. I think the hardest part is the end when you still have to get in an Uber to get home, and you still have to wear it for another 30 minutes.
30 minutes to an hour. Get my luggage. Go get in the car. Oh my gosh, yeah.
You're like, I just want to be home.
Yes.
But I certainly can't complain.
Yes. Well, I'm sure your family's excited to see you too, and you'll have a white Christmas, which is going to be awesome.
I think there's snow on the ground right now.
Is there? Okay.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah. So what do you think? I mean, we're here. It's supposed to be New Year's Eve right now, which our ball isn't dropping yet, but it's kind of been an interesting year. This has been a pandemic year, something no one in their lifetimes has experienced, unless you're close to 100 years old and still alive. But it's been an interesting journey this year.
What do you think is the most unique thing that's happened this year? Besides, obviously.
Well, I think that it's interesting because I was thinking about this earlier, and that initial shutdown, right? That initial shutdown where even though we were considered essential, we didn't know what the definition of all that was. We are a money company. We're a money business, and we deal with people's finances. It's a huge responsibility. But at the same time, we shut down. We shut down our offices. We moved to our homes. We basically had to have our IT companies help us be able to establish our communications, which was very difficult and very challenging. But I'd say that this year has been the year of adaptation, right? We've had to adapt to, things that we never thought we would ever have to adapt in our lives to. But it's kind of interesting. I was talking with Jennifer, who also is part of our team, talking to her this morning, and her interesting thing was today, she goes, well, she's been still at home, which we are fine with. There's certain circumstances, and she will drive a little bit during the day to take her daughter to school, one day a week, that's again bizarre. But she drove at night to pick up her daughter from her parents' house this weekend, and she goes, I feel weird. What's wrong? She goes, I haven't pretty much driven at night at all this year. And I think what we're going to have to do is, it's almost like a baby learning how to walk. We're going to have to learn how to walk again, how to run again, how to drive a car, or how to communicate even in person. We're in person right now, but we're social distancing. But that communication and not being able to be able to give someone a hug, and we want to. It's a very foreign feeling. So I'd say one of the big things, not to be too serious here, I'm sure everybody's feeling this way, but that mental state of not being able to be the person you really are.
Yeah, I've thought about that when I go to the grocery store. It's going to be very weird the day that we don't have to wear masks to go to the grocery store or walk into a building, and it feels.
Well, I have a curious question about that because do you think that, let's say by June, everybody's vaccinated in the world, okay? Do you think we're going to go immediately without masks?
I thought about that. I think that I don't think so. I feel like it's going to be kind of a easing back into it. Do you feel comfortable in this situation? Is the grocery store where there's full of strangers still a place you maybe wear your mask for a while? I kind of think it's going to be like that because people have gotten used to it.
Or, I mean, there's so much fear and anxiety driven about it. But I also find it really interesting because over the years, you know, you'll see these clips from China or an Asian country, and a lot of people are wearing masks. And this was before the pandemic broke out.
Yeah, it's very normal if you're not feeling well.
Right.
Too. And I wonder if.
And we don't have that. We don't really have that as part of our culture. But do you think that might change to part of our culture?
I think it might.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's kind of interesting. We don't know. But I know that, you know, we are a country of resiliency, and we're people of resiliency where we want to get back to certain norms. You know, it's so funny. It's so strange watching a football game and there's no one in the stands.
Yes, the fake.
You know, or baseball, which was over the summer. You know, it's just so strange not to see that. And there's, you know, no cheering in the stands, no nothing. I mean, that's so bizarre. But yet sports is, you know, that's how they're basically showing. I think it's great that the first people that are going to get the vaccine are going to be the first responders, the medical people.
Oh, yes.
You know, and then nursing homes, which I think is really important. We don't want anyone to die unnecessarily from this. And I think, you know, it's just, wow. I mean, that's such a loaded question that you asked me because I don't know. What's the biggest challenge? I mean, I don't know. I think it's the I don't know and how to adapt to it and how to really actually do something about it.
That's true.
Yeah.
I don't know, though. I'm not going to lie, I kind of enjoyed being stuck at home for a couple of months.
Did you? Well,
It kind of gave me an excuse to not do anything.
Oh,
I
boy.
can't go out and spend money. I can't go out.
Well, you're a shopper, so did you
Yes.
shop online?
I did a little bit.
Yeah.
But then I got frustrated because you couldn't return things.
Oh, yeah. That is a
and customer
difficulty with
service
online,
was-
yeah.
Yeah, and so I kind of gave up.
Yeah.
Unless I really needed to.
You like that touchable feeling, that tangible feeling where you can go try something on and
I do.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and we're in California right now, so California's supposed to be shut down again, but for essential, which hey, maybe we shouldn't talk about this part, but for essential, you know, financial education, things of that nature, first responders, police. I mean, people are out. You know, what I find, which we've had this kind of conversation, we can kind of be a little bit like this, I think, where so many things are shut down, but so many things are open. Bizarre that you could go shopping for holiday presents, and you couldn't go to church. You can watch online, which I have been, you know, and our pastor even said, I think about 2 weeks ago or so, said something about the fact that like 70% of the United States population that does go to church hasn't been to church or even watched it online for 7 months. And that is really sad. It's a sad state of affairs. But I think in this holiday season, what's most important, you know, it's about family connection, doing those things that you're thankful for. I mean, I love Thanksgiving because it's the gratitude period, right? So what are we all thankful for? Well, I think even the holiday season, we're thankful, you know, and we get this experience to be there. And hopefully you get to, if you do go to church, I hope you get to go. If you, but you know, even just the silly little things of going ice skating and getting hot chocolate, or you know, getting pictures with Santa. Oh my gosh, I can't get a picture with Santa. Not that I have in recent years, but
There are
you know,
some places that are doing it in a kind of a unique way.
are they?
Yeah.
I haven't heard that.
I don't know the details.
Yeah.
Not one to go.
Yeah.
But
Well, even going to, like, if you were from New York and being able to go to Rockefeller Center and going ice skating with the big Christmas tree, are they even doing the big Christmas tree this year? I haven't even heard anything about it. And, you know, being able to be in Times Square for New Year's Eve, I mean, that's such a pastime where all these great music artists are singing and concerts and everything else like that. And that's just not going to be there this year. And I wonder how creative things are going to become. Which I think that, you know, even like music artists, they could probably film something in their own studio or their own stage, even if there's not any guests.
for
Maybe,
people.
I don't know. I don't know. So we'll see. I mean, everybody will see tonight after the show, right? So,
We'll get
so
people know soon.
yeah.
What is your favorite holiday tradition? COVID or no COVID?
Well, we've done this now 2 years in a row where we've actually set up the Christmas tree the week before Thanksgiving. And I really love it because here's the one thing. I get really excited, as you know, for holidays. So it starts with pumpkins, and those pumpkins, I want to put them out in August, which it's still summer, but I want to put them out. Jennifer will tell me, gosh, no, you can't put them out at least until September 1st. Okay, I'll go with September 1st. But you can kind of have the pumpkins around for a couple of months, so September, October, November, right? You can keep it around. Well, the thing about Christmas, which I love so much, and all the decorations and everything, why I love the fact that we at least put it up the weekend before Thanksgiving, and so everybody can enjoy it for Thanksgiving. It's a shorter period, 5-6 weeks maybe, right? So I love that. I grew up with that. I was talking about this over the weekend. It was kind of interesting. I grew up with, my mother was Christmas was so important to her. All the holidays were really important to her, but Christmas was such an important one. And so my mother was, she was Austrian, European. She's been gone for quite some time, but we wouldn't get our Christmas tree until Christmas Eve.
You see that in movies, and
Yes.
I never realized
So
that
I would
was
wake up
it.
Christmas Eve morning and the tree would be done, but Mom went with my sister or with Dad on the 23rd to try and find a tree, which not very many had trees at that point, but like the noble, I think it's the noble, the one that's kind of like skinnier branches.
Okay.
Okay, so Mom would stay up all night on the 23rd, and I'd wake up in the morning, stocking would be there, the whole deal, and there would be tinsel on every little pine needle. I mean, it was like a silver tree. It was incredible.
Wow.
Like, I have pictures of this, and they were just incredibly gorgeous. My mother was such a perfectionist. And we celebrated Christmas on Christmas Eve. That was our culture. That was our culture. Then when I got married and had kids, more families to deal with, couldn't do it all. We did for quite some time because, that's hard. Now I have children, and, between my husband and I, we have 5 children, and, they all have different things they've got to do. And you have to be adaptable. Yeah. So it's probably not my most favorite thing to be adaptable for, but I've accommodated over the years just because I want at least a little quality time with my kids and family. So long story to a very short answer, but yeah, I mean, the holiday season is it's just precious to me. It really is.
Yeah.
And then comes Easter, and that's even better. Yes. How about you, Katie? What's your favorite holiday or favorite holiday thing to do?
Yes, I think Christmas is probably my favorite holiday. But from moving out here where I don't have as much family around and there's no snow, which is still hard for me to get used to this time of year, I think my favorite thing is that we are able to be outside and walking around neighborhoods looking at Christmas lights. That's become one of my favorite things.
Where have you been going?
Well, even just taking the dog for a walk around the neighborhood when it gets dark out. But there is a neighborhood not too far from us that they call themselves Christmas Card Lane.
Oh.
And it's all decked out this time of year. And some of the original houses in that neighborhood have it's all decorated like a Christmas card.
Oh, okay.
And some of them have big boards that actually look like
We're
a
gonna have to
Christmas
check that out.
card.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have kind of adapted that in different ways, but they're all decked out, and I think they're still all decked out this year. So I think we are going to go and check it out. But on other years, there's just tons of people, and sometimes families are selling goodies in their driveway, and other people are just having little bonfires in their front yard. Just everybody just is very friendly and out and about, and it's really fun. We just take a cup of hot chocolate and the dog and walk around the neighborhood.
So I'll go back to a little story. Like when I was growing up, my dad would have to take me out literally each night, the 23rd and the 24th, until Mom was ready to unveil. And that's what we did, is we went and looked at Christmas lights. So Candy Cane Lane, which I don't even know if Candy Cane Lane still does it. I think they do.
Yeah.
And Pepper Drive, which is in El Cajon. And, there's a couple other places that we've gone to since. But the interesting thing was when I was growing up and I was younger, I'm like, gosh, I want to buy a house on a street like this so I can do this whole thing too.
Yeah.
It might be a blessing or a curse, but how awesome is that? And that just looking at those Christmas lights when I was growing up was such a memory maker. And growing up in the Midwest in Wisconsin, how was Christmas? How was Christmas lights? Was it really decked out, or was it?
I'd say the same. The weather certainly doesn't stop anybody.
Yeah.
It might actually, I think what it does is keeps people's lights up longer because nobody wants to go out in the cold to take them down. So you have a lot of people with lights
That's
up
awesome.
in March. There's a candy cane lane in the Milwaukee area, and it's exactly the same.
Yeah.
You get out there in the cold and you just don't last as long, which is what I like about it here.
Yeah.
You can be out all evening looking at lights.
That's awesome.
A few years ago, we took my little niece, who I think she's probably like 4 at the time, out to drive around.
Yeah.
And I thought it'd be so fun. She's 4. Look at all the lights. She's like, "Why are we in the car? Where are we going?" And I was like, "Don't you like the pretty lights?" She's like, "Whatever."
Oh boy.
Which is kind of funny, but.
So since this is kind of a New Year's Eve show, what's maybe one of your favorite New Year's Eve things to do?
Well, when I'm in town, and able to be on my own schedule, we always like to go out just for like a really nice dinner, and then spend the rest of the evening with friends. I actually love watching the ball drop.
I do
and
too.
all that stuff.
I do too.
I feel like over the years, it hasn't been quite the show it used to be, but it's still fun.
Yeah.
To see all those artists perform.
Yeah.
And
Oh, I think it's great.
it's fun.
I hope they come up with something this year.
Yeah.
I think that'd be
Everyone's
fun.
at home, maybe they'll have more performances. Everyone's just in their house.
Yeah, we had all these little traditions when I was growing up, like what we would do to tell the fortune of the new year, all this stuff. It was kind of funny. I just remember I didn't really do it with my kids, but I should have. But the dropping of the ball, all the entertainment, all the people, and you're like, wow, they're freezing. I'm kind of glad I'm in my house. But yes, I also, when we've gone in town to have a nice dinner and celebrate, and it is beautiful to be with the ones you love. And since this is a money show, we probably have to ask one of the money questions. What do you think some of your New Year's resolutions are going to be this year?
Well, since it didn't happen this year, I do think going to Europe.
It's going to happen in 2021?
Yes. I actually was just talking to my husband this morning. Should we start planning it?
Yes. It's a discount right now.
Well, the deals are still there.
Yeah.
Maybe for.
When do you think you'll feel safe? Do you think
late
you'll feel
summer? Maybe?
Late summer?
I don't know. I guess the question is, can we still make changes at this point?
I'm sure you can.
I think probably.
Yeah.
But I think that's the big one.
That's great.
And then we'll see what happens after that.
Yeah. Well, it's a fun thing to look forward to. It's something to drive and thrive for.
Yeah. How about you?
It's a big question. I just want to kind of get through, the first half of the year and be able to be in a positive direction going forward. I think the business has done incredibly well under these circumstances. I want to help as many people as I possibly can help. While I have breath in these lungs, I want to be able to help change people's lives for the better. And that's just consistency, making sure that we have a great environment for the business and for our clients, whether it's Zoom or, oh my gosh, Zoom calls. Thank God we have it. We were doing things like that for years because we have clients all over the country, which is great. But, you still want that personal connection. You really do. One thing I'm looking forward to next year is I'd like to do this family reunion on my dad's side of the family back in upstate New York. Which would be really beautiful. Take the whole family, do the whole thing, and just get to really spend some time. It's been a couple of years now since I've been back there, and it was for my grandmother's 100th birthday. She would have just been 103 a couple days ago, and so 2 years ago she passed. Unfortunately on Christmas Eve, but what a great, incredible life, 101 years of age, and with majority of it all quality. Didn't even look, her age ever, which was incredible. So she always said she applied it to Pond's cold cream. Okay. I don't even know if they sell that anymore, but she used it. And just be able to kind of visit with the family, and we're going to, do something special for her. And so that's something I'm looking forward to, and I just want good health for everyone. I want people to have a better relationship with money. I don't want them to have so much anxiety about it. You know, when you put a plan together, it can really work for you. But yes, you know, the New Year's resolutions for most people are get out of debt, get in touch with my finances. Well, no better time than the present to have that conversation. So if you're in that mode and you want to make sure you're getting out of debt and you want to have a better relationship with money, now is the time to, you know, get on the calendar, get on the books so we can take care of you, and just really make, you know, each day count. You know, my husband and I, we went through COVID. My stepdaughter and I, all three of us, we went through COVID, and you know, going through it was pretty rough. But we're grateful to be alive, and grateful that there's not too many long lingering effects. The funny one is I can't smell anything, but that's okay. There's sometimes probably things I don't want to smell, so it's good.
Could be worse.
Yes, and Katie's mom says it's overrated,
Yeah.
so you know I'm right up there with her, you know. But yeah, I want to be able to smell, you know, roses again one day, or you know, just smell something that you can have a candle burning. You know, those simple things that we take for granted. So. Yeah, I don't know. You know, there's all heartfelt things, making sure the family's all good, and we're all in a good place. So it's going to be a great New Year's, because I can't wait for 2020 to be over. I don't know about you,
I think a
Katie.
lot of people feel that
Yes.
way.
Oh my gosh, I thought 2020 was going to be this amazing year because it sounded awesome, right? 2020. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. No one anticipated what we've all gone through as a world that we've done. You know. I'm looking forward to 2021 and new adventures, and hopefully we'll be able to do things without a mask. And hopefully there won't be toilet paper shortages or clearing out of toilet paper and paper towels in the aisles of the grocery store. But, you know, I've implemented some new things like Instacart, and, you know, when we couldn't go out shopping, it was great. And, you know, where we live, you know, the DoorDash and Grubhub really doesn't go there. So it's just, you know, adapting to new things. And a lot of great businesses out there have been created through this pandemic. So,
Oh yeah, and
Yeah.
some definitely new innovations for
Yes.
businesses like Instacart, and just getting advanced technologies that
Yes.
I think they weren't expecting to need, but now are
Yes.
ready to use. So
yeah, we're definitely the technology age for sure. You know, the innovation and technology age, and we all need better Wi-Fi to be able to make it work. So, anything you want to say for final comments for the rest of the show?
well, it's been a great year.
Yeah.
Regardless,
Yes.
I think
Yes.
personally, and thanks for listening in with us.
Yes, thanks for listening throughout the whole year. I hope that you continue to listen and watch for 2021. Season 5 is coming out here shortly. And again, we can't be more grateful to the people that we love. We love you all. We love everyone in our team and our families. And thank you for supporting us, and you know, help us, you know, strive and thrive to help as many people possibly in this world, so that they can have a better relationship with money in the new year. So here's to 2021. Happy New Year!
Yay.
The information provided in this show is for informational and educational purposes only. This show is not investment advice, nor is it intended to address the financial needs of any particular viewer. The opinions expressed on this show are not intended to be an endorsement of any particular investment strategy or service of any other kind. You must make an independent decision regarding investments or strategies mentioned throughout the show. Before acting on information in this show, you should consider whether it is suitable for your particular situation and strongly consider seeking advice from a financial advisor.